And we start tonight with a case that could impact hundreds of people convicted of crimes and even more families of crime victims. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Katie Moore. The Louisiana Supreme Court's hearing a case right here in New Orleans that could grant new trials to an estimated 1,500 people in prison. It's a fight that's left some criminal justice reform advocates on one side and the families of crime victims on the other.
Mike McDaniel explains in tonight's top story.
As the state Supreme Court hears arguments on non-unanimous jury verdicts, Dottie Tardy was at a fallen officers memorial in Metairie, remembering her son, Christopher Russell.
I like to make people laugh, like to make people happy.
The 35-year-old New Orleans police officer was responding to a robbery at Club Tango in the 9th Ward back in 2002. 16 people were robbed and forced to strip by 4 men with guns. Russell was shot and killed when he got there. While not the shooter, one of those 4 men, Michael Davis, was sentenced to life plus 198 years for armed robbery as a multiple offender. 19 years later, last spring, Tardy got a call from Angola prison.
I was like in shock. And I said, "What do you mean, release them?" She said, "He's been let free."
Davis was convicted 11-1. Louisiana law banned non-unanimous jury verdicts in 2019, long after his conviction. The U.S. Supreme Court then ruled them unconstitutional the following year. Neither were retroactive. That could change if the state Supreme Court decides to allow it, impacting about 1,500 prisoners.
This is unacceptable in our civilized society.
Sybil Fox with Participatory Defense Movement NOLA says the Jim Crow-era law allowing split jury convictions should not be a standing for anyone's conviction.
We know the law was unconstitutional. They said we can't do it anymore. But for us to not go back and make this law of non-unanimous juries retroactive, it's just as shameful.
Through appeals, Davis's case became part of then newly elected District Attorney Jason Williams' plan on justice reform. Tardy says her family was never notified by the DA's office of Davis's release and was told he can't be retried.
You were there, you terrorized these people, you participated, and as a result, my son's killed. But I'm stuck. I can't go forward with anything.
With her son's name etched in stone, Tardy wishes the convictions of the men involved in her son's murder would be as well. Mike McDaniel, Eyewitness News.
Well, the man who shot Officer Russell Dwight Patterson was convicted of first-degree murder and is still serving a life sentence. Now, 2 other men pleaded guilty to armed robbery and were sentenced to 15 to 25 years. Now, there is no indication on when the state Supreme Court will make its ruling.